because they don't want to have a discussion about excessive force by the police. They don't want to have a discussion about the militarization of the police because it's the government that has been doing that. It's the government that's been equipping the police, training the police to behave this way. And so they don't want to have a discussion about that core issue. They want to have a discussion about race. Paul, I wanted to bring up this headline we have here on Infowars.com. It's a story from the New York Daily News. This was at the funeral of the 12-year-old boy who died this last weekend. He had been shot twice in the chest. He had a BB gun. And at the funeral, the mother said, police officers are public servants, not James Bond with a license to kill. And that really nailed it. I'm so sad to see that. And one of the things that really bothers me about both this shooting and the one in Walmart, where you had the man with a young man with a BB gun that he was going to buy from Walmart. He'd picked up their merchandise in his hand. And you had somebody call the police and say, we got a guy in the store with a gun pointing it at people. And so the police show up and treat it as if it's an active shooter, but they don't assess the situation. They're professionals. If somebody calls you up with a false report, are you going to be their killer for them? I mean, are we going to have people who basically call in lies about people they don't like so they can have the cops kill them for them? Or are the cops going to be trained professionals who come in and assess the situation instead of just coming in and shooting the guy? And as you can see that, the guy runs around the corner and just shoots him. And he's not pointing the gun at anybody, and they don't tell him to drop the gun either. They just shoot first. And so when we see something like that happen, when we see something like what happened with this young boy, we've had a lot of people come back and say, you know, the problem is we need to ban toy guns. That's not the problem. Racism is not the problem. Toy guns aren't the problem. And they're trying to ban guns for everybody now with this UN arms trade treaty. But that isn't the issue. It's the force. You know, even if our police don't have guns themselves, they can still choke people to death, as we saw with Eric Garner.
Well, exactly. I mean, we've seen a spate of these incidents, more like a flood. You know, kids with Nerf guns, water pistols, they shut down entire schools in these ridiculous stunts. And you mentioned, again, the violence, the militarization. If you go on YouTube and search police training, two of the top two videos that come up will illustrate this perfectly, and I'm going to make a video about this. One's out of Austin, one's out of Rhode Island, and it illustrates perfectly what we said yesterday. These police are literally being given military training. It shows them being lined up, screamed at by the police chief. Basically, they're going on frog marches in military parades.
Yes.
They're being trained to beat people up. That's the primary focus of the training. And obviously, you know, I would support police being physically active, keeping fit, and learning self-defense. Obviously, it's a dangerous job. But all this training is about beating people up, and from what you see on these videos, very little of it is about knowing the actual law, which then relates to this other story we've got on Infowars.com. Man arrested for video recording on private property, video recording a cop.
Yeah.
And again, what we were talking about yesterday, the immediate rush to escalate the situation. This clip is 48 seconds long because the cop in this instance, this is on private property, he's video recording the cop for his own safety. He's not being aggressive. He's kept well back. And yet instantly, the cop rushes over to him and arrests him. Yet in every single case where people get arrested for video recording police, it's thrown out. Even the NYPD came out a few months ago and had to remind everybody that it's completely legal to film police officers and that it's not an arrestable offense. Yet we see it happening over and over again.
And they've lost in court over and over and over again. They tried to send a guy in Illinois to jail for like 75 years because he had recorded something. They keep losing, and yet they do this under color of law. And that's what we're going to be talking about later in the show. We're going to be talking about how Obama, not only does he bypass Congress, but of course, he doesn't even bother to sign his executive orders. And then you got Congress saying they passed the new NDAA, and somebody asked a Democrat, did you read it? And he goes, are you kidding me? I mean, they don't read the bills they sign. He doesn't sign his edicts. We are a lawless society. We have police officers who don't know or don't care what the law is, and they're being hyper-militarized with this training. We're about to go to break, but I want to tell everybody, if you didn't see the nightly news last night, Darren McBreen addressed this black and white issue. He really knocked it out of the park. And we've got a special right now as well for Prison Planet TV subscribers. You can get a full year subscription. This is our Christmas special this year. Never done one like this before. 7 months for free if you get an annual subscription. So check that out. Every night you're going to see the kind of content we saw from Darren McBreen. We're probably going to break that out as a separate video. We'll be right back with Paul Joseph Watson and with Lionel. We're going to be talking about excessive use of police force.
Many superfoods boost immune function, but few do it like bee pollen does for mental, physical, and overall health. Bee pollen helps the body fight illnesses and allergies and is one of the top superfoods for mental clarity and concentration. Support American beekeepers. For high-quality bee pollen, black seed oil, camu camu, super greens, heirloom seeds, organic storable food, and more, go to PatriotSuperfoods.com. That's PatriotSuperfoods.com. Remember, PatriotSuperfoods.com.
You know about RVs, you've heard about bunkers, but surviving is not recreation, and man wasn't made to live underground. Introducing Survivalist Camps, the ultimate fully functional off-the-grid survival bug-out house that's mobile, well-equipped, and custom-built to outlast any other RV or trailer. Go to survivalistcamps.com to learn more. That's survivalistcamps.com, providing your basic needs to survive. Survivalistcamps.com.
If you have candida overgrowth, just taking antifungal agents or starving yourself of sweets does not address the cause. Candida overgrowth is the result of a toxic, damaged, acidic, low oxygen, and inflamed tissue environment. The goal should be to remove the toxins, heal damaged tissues, restore healthy pH, eliminate inflammation, and feed beneficial bacteria. Previous usage of antibiotics or steroids or exposure to mercury or other toxins can damage many cells in the GI tract and body that make you prone to candida overgrowth. Removing toxins and healing tissues should be the goal. One World Whey is a whey protein food that supports detoxification, repair of tissues, and elimination of inflammation, healthy pH, and growth of beneficial bacteria. One World Whey is duly reformulated to be higher in protein and lower in carbohydrate. We believe One World Whey is an excellent food to support your efforts to create a healthy internal body environment. Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworldwhey.com.
Managing your business and customers isn't easy, huh? SnapForce customer relationship software may be just what you need. SnapForce CRM is a software solution that helps you manage everything important about your customers, from sales to marketing to service and support. All of your customer information is right there at your fingertips for easy access. It's time to take control of your business in a snap. Get your free trial at snapforce.com. That's SNAPFORCE.com. Snapforce.com.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to generate an endless supply of natural silver solutions. SilverLungs.com. You'll find no wild claims or pseudoscience, just a lifetime of nano-sized pure silver solutions. The Silver Lungs generator allows you to make your own, so stop paying for silver solutions. The unique lung delivery system targets respiratory infections where other silver solutions simply cannot reach. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at SilverLungs.com. That's SilverLungs.com.
Do you have relatives and friends that are convinced there is no need ever to prepare for any kind of emergency? Are these also folks you buy Christmas presents for? At 30dayfoodsupply.com, we can solve both of these problems at the same time. Go to 30dayfoodsupply.com or call 541-229-0010. We can ship your Christmas presents directly to them. Choose from our original $99 30-day food supply, our long-term storage vegan burger mixes, and other oatmeal, soups, porridges, beans, and granolas for everyday use. All products are non-GMO, MSG-free, and vegetarian. Most are gluten, soy, and nut-free. Call 541-229-0010 today. Oregon Trail Foods and 30dayfoodsupply.com keep prices low, cutting out the middleman by buying directly from their producers in Oregon. Remember, only $10 ships your entire order to the lower 48. Visit the website 30dayfoodsupply.com. Call 541-229-0010. 30dayfoodsupply.com. 541-229-0010.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Ide on this Friday, December 5th, 2014. Paul Joseph Watson is joining me from the UK, and we're joining this segment with Lionel. Yesterday we had him on. We had a very good discussion. If you didn't see that, that's available now on YouTube and archives, as well as on our archives at Prison Planet TV for our subscribers. If you want to see that, that's really good. We're talking a lot about grand juries, but Paul wanted to talk to Lionel. I kind of dominated the discussion, I guess, and didn't give Paul enough chance to talk to Lionel. So he had some questions for Lionel. So, Paul, you there?
Yeah.
Hey, I think we've got Lionel. Do we have Lionel, guys, on the line? Yes, good. Okay, we got him on the line. Go for it, Paul.
Yeah, I just wanted to get Lionel's take on how the media reacted to the Ferguson riots, because I was thinking of the situation, imagine if back in April, Cliven Bundy had been shot by cops during that standoff, and white people, or Cliven Bundy supporters in general, had reacted by looting and burning down buildings. Bearing in mind, we had Obama meeting with the Ferguson leaders. We've got an article on Infowars.com right now. Ferguson activist who met Obama faces assault charges. He basically assaulted a security guard as he tried to get into City Hall in St. Louis. So we had Obama meeting with these people. We had Time magazine legitimizing the riots, the looting, the burning down of buildings. Now, I don't think the media reaction would have been in the same context if that situation was reversed and somebody like Cliven Bundy had been shot and his supporters had reacted in the same way that some of the people in Ferguson did. So, Lionel, I mean, you're a prosecutor, but obviously you also study media narratives. So what's your take on what I just said there?
Well, I have been in the media, and Paul, let me just say something to you, sir. How dare you? How dare you bring up discrepancies and disparities in the way the media and society and the law deal with black and white issues? Don't you understand that we can talk about black issues, but not black and white issues, unless the white issue is an indictment? How dare you? That's the reaction. Paul, you and David, but Paul in particular, I believe, brought up the notion of there is an inherent systemic problem with this mentality of a lot of police departments that push this militarization. Let me give you an example. Imagine a new couple goes to a child rearing class, brand new parents, and the first thing out of the instructor's mouth is how to discipline a child, how to spank a child and not leave a mark, when spanking is appropriate, how to spank. Guess what those parents are going to do? Spank. It's this mentality of the police departments. It's this idea that civilians are the enemy. I submit that's the problem. Not that black defendants are. I forget this criming while white. So there is this inherent tutorial that's part of it. But Paul, don't you understand when you post these reviews, these scholarly approaches, pointing out the discrepancies and how black violence versus white really isn't true, you're actually a crypto racist.
No, I've got death threats over it.
Because you told the truth. Listen, gentlemen, let me see if I can break this down. People are stupid. They're not smart. They're dense. You have to be able to handle nuance. You have to be able to handle, years ago, there was a guy on Ed Sullivan, this guy with a stick who would spin the plate and another plate and another plate. And he had 4 or 5 plates going at the same time. We can't do that. This is the American discussion. Hands up, or I can't breathe, or something along those lines. That is it. Focused, microscopic, don't look at any other issues. We're not interested in critical thinking. No, 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 no. It's this one aspect. Let me tell you what it was like last night in New York. I have never, ever seen anything like this. I'm not talking about a pocket full of protesters here. West Side Highway, Brooklyn Bridge, Grand Central, and I don't mean a couple of stragglers. Times Square, it was huge, big, organized. I hear the music.
Yes, hang on. We're going to be right back. We're talking to Lionel. We also have Paul Joseph Watson from the UK. Stay with us. We're talking again about what's going on in New York, what's happening with police brutality. Are we going to have a discussion of the real issues, or are we going to let them distract us with this red herring of racism? Stay with us. We'll be right back.